This is Good Morning Jacksonville.
Right now on Good Morning Jacksonville at 4:30, bulletproof backpacks now on sale around the First Coast. But will they be permitted in schools during the upcoming school year? We're on your side with those answers. And change is coming to the First Coast. New diaper changing tables for men's restrooms, all thanks to one local dad. And the Olympics are officially 1 year away. A look at this year's top athletes. Get excited. Good morning. I'm Katie Jeffries. Thank you so much for waking up with us. So we do have a lot to talk about, as you can see, but we want to start off with a look towards the tropics. Meteorologist Mike Prangley, he's standing by with more on this kind of system that's moving.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Katie. In fact, let's take a look. We have an official tropical depression. Okay, so a different title than yesterday morning, but no change in the forecast. All right, so as we take a look at what happened while you were sleeping, overnight, the system looked like it was just falling apart quickly with a lack of thunderstorm activity. There have been a few more thunderstorms that have broken out, especially just off the Florida coastline. But at this point, a very disorganized system, and as it continues to move to the north, it's going to run into increasing wind shear. So this is what it means. Latest track, first of all, stays east of Jacksonville with all of those main impacts for us, a very minimal impacts at best. In fact, we're looking at that big cone of concern and yes, staying offshore. In fact, by later this afternoon, it will be well to the east and northeast of Jacksonville, absorbed by a front. So what you need to know, poorly organized tropical depression, no strengthening, increasing wind shear today. So thank you, wind shear. It moves northeast of us this afternoon. Main impacts stay offshore. Then it's absorbed into a front. In fact, as you see, look at that heavy rain remaining well east of Jacksonville. We're between a front and our depression today. So today's still more of your pop-up thunderstorm activity, but that will change by tomorrow. We're watching a line of widespread rain and becoming heavy with a summer front as our depression becomes absorbed in that front. We'll talk more about that much needed rain on the way coming right up.
Thank you, Mike. Your time right now is 4:31. Let's hit the fast lane for your top stories on this Tuesday morning. Today, the Senate will vote on whether to extend funding for families of 9/11 victims and those sickened at Ground Zero for the next 70 years. The vote happens at 2 o'clock today, and if approved, it will go to President Trump's desk. This morning, JSO is searching for answers after one man was killed and one woman was hurt in a shooting in the Lackawanna area. It happened last night around 9 o'clock along Beaverbrook Place. If you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-866-845-TIPS. Happening today, Logan Mott, the Neptune Beach teenager charged with killing his grandmother, is due in court for a pretrial hearing. Mott is accused of killing his grandmother, Christina French, in November of 2017 and burying her in the backyard. Mott has pleaded not guilty. His appearance today is scheduled for 9 a.m. His trial is set to begin next month. People who are the victims of domestic violence are now eligible for unemployment benefits. Now, if victims can prove they voluntarily left their job as a direct result of domestic violence, they can receive compensation for up to 12 weeks. In Florida, there are more than 117,000 reported cases of domestic violence per year. Volvo is recalling more than 500,000 vehicles worldwide, including the XC90 and the S90, a faulty engine component that could potentially result in engine bay fires. Now, if you are affected, you will receive letters in the mail, and you can contact the dealer for free repairs.
Some people think that vaping is no big deal, but that is just an illusion. You said you vape. Why don't you smoke cigarettes?
Because they have so much stuff in it that I'm just not a fan of.
I'm going to take your vape like this.
So the FDA is taking its fight to prevent e-cigarette use among youth to TV airwaves. The ad features street magician Julius Dean, who turns a teen's e-cigarette into a real cigarette in front of their eyes. So the FDA also says it plans to provide new posters for high schools as well as educational material for middle schoolers as well. The former deputy charged after allegedly failing to confront a gunman at Parkland is pleading not guilty to those charges, including child neglect. Investigators say that Scott Peterson ran away from the gunfire at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and that his inaction cost lives. 17 people were killed, and Peterson faces up to 96 years in prison if convicted. School is starting. Less than a month for some places, 9 days for some places in Georgia. So safety measures will be in place across the First Coast, from metal detectors to resource officers and now bulletproof book bags. Camera Uppinger is on your side with the new safety features.
Well, some are calling it a sad reality. The fact that you can go to one of these stores like Office Max right behind me and purchase one of these bulletproof backpacks. Now, we hit the streets and we spoke with parents to get their reaction to see if they would consider buying these for one of their children. And we also reached out to local school districts to see if they'd be allowed in schools for the upcoming year. You can call it a sign of the times. Bulletproof backpacks are now on sale at local stores.
That's very interesting, that you can just go into the store now and buy it. It's not like it's a special order or anything.
Right. During a quick visit to Office Depot in Arlington, we found them on sale for $119. Yasir Sharik is the founder of Guard Dog Security, one of several companies that makes these backpacks.
So we're not sitting here saying that you buy a bulletproof backpack is going to solve everything. We're saying, look, this will put you in a better position in the event of an active shooter than someone who doesn't have a bulletproof backpack.
Parents are divided when it comes to having them in schools. Amber Williams, a mother of 3, says she's considering buying one for her child in middle school.
Very scary to even think that you would have to have bulletproof backpacks.
But some are concerned it could protect someone wanting to cause harm.
I don't think they should be allowed in school because it's a way to enable a criminal to do more activity.
Now, First Coast News did reach out to Duval County school districts for comment on if these bulletproof backpacks will be allowed this school year. And district spokeswoman Lorene Ricks confirmed that there is no district-wide book bag policy. And she also added that it's up to each individual school to decide what's allowed when it comes to backpacks. For now, reporting in Arlington, Cameron Leppinger, First Coast News, on your side.
So we've been asking you all month long to help us stuff the bus by buying school supplies for local students in need, but you can also text a donation as well. So if you want, just text the word classroom to 30306 and then follow the prompts that you'll get from a follow-up message. Or if you prefer the traditional route, we love that too. You can bring pens, pencils, book bags, school supplies to our Stuff the Bus drive. That'll be August 2nd from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the markets at Town Center. We'll be right in front of the new Sprouts Farmers Market. So your time right now is 4:36. Next on GMJ, a new tool that could help save your life in the event of an emergency. What you need to know.
And we've got the update on the 5 a.m. advisory. Latest depression staying farther east and staying weak. We'll have the good news coming up.
Oh, let's talk some sports. So Jags training camp got underway yesterday and it was closed to the public, but don't worry, it continues all week long. And the first open practice time is Thursday, this Thursday, the 25th, and July 27th practice will only be open to season ticket holders. Now the gates open up at 8:15, but you can go and check out the team. The 2020 Olympics in Tokyo are just 1 year away, and as NBC's Kurt Gregory counts down to the one sporting event that will bring the world together.
In 1 year, the athletes of the world will gather in Tokyo. International Olympic organizers say the Japanese capital is the best prepared Olympic host city ever. More than half of Tokyo's new permanent venues are complete.
Everything has been on track, on time, and I think I'm very pleased.
The Olympic Stadium, more than 90% ready. Japanese fans are excited, and ticket sales are unprecedented. A second ticket lottery is underway. While baseball and softball return to the Olympic schedule, 4 new sports will make their Olympic debuts in Japan. Karate, skateboarding, surfing, and rock climbing.
Amazing, yeah. I'm so happy.
Athletes from 206 countries will compete in 339 medal events. The medals will be made of recycled metal, including thousands of donated cell phones. Olympic torches, podiums, and some uniforms will also feature recycled materials. Swimmer Katie Ledecky and gymnast Simone Biles are expected to lead the largest American contingent ever. But who will replace Michael Phelps? Who will emerge in track and field? So many questions to be answered in 1 year. Kurt Gregory, NBC News.
And they're adding some sports this year, which is exciting. You know, they're doing skateboarding, which there's a whole skateboarding community here that I know I talked to, I think a couple of years ago, that they were so excited for it to be in the 2020 Olympics.
Yes, 1 year to the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Can't believe it. And I'm excited. Love the sporting events. And we're also excited about the Jaguars opening.
Yes.
The opening training camp coming Thursday. But we look outside this morning. And the talk of the town is, what about that depression? What's going on?
You know what I'm most excited about? The fact that it's swinging further east.
Yeah, that's your update. In fact, we're the first to let you know about the good news. The latest track from the Hurricane Center. Well, first of all, expected to remain a poorly organized depression, no strengthening. And the impacts, if you look at the moisture plume, some of the breezy weather with this thing, those impacts stay offshore Florida. Okay, this is east of the Florida Peninsula as it continues to swing by Jacksonville this afternoon. In fact, I would be surprised if it lasts this long all the way up off the Carolinas. Likely to dissipate into some remnants by late tonight as this front takes over the weather. In fact, this is our big player on the map, this summer front that has brought a lot of flash flooding and severe weather. We could have strong storms in our area by later this evening in southeast Georgia. So here's what you need to know. Tropical Depression 3 weak. We've got increasing wind shear, stays offshore northeast of Jacksonville with the main impacts absorbed into the front by Wednesday. So today we've got more of your isolated late afternoon storms. So we're going to have to watch those storms carefully this evening across Georgia as our depression moves east. All right, we're watching this front make some headway to the south, and some of these storms here will be on the strong side, especially as we head after 8 p.m. So that's what we're watching. We'll track some storms not just for Georgia, but into Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Lake City, coming right up.
We do have a recall alert to tell you about this morning. Elevation Foods is voluntarily recalling select containers of Archer Farms brand egg salad and deviled egg sandwiches due to a possible listeria contamination. The company estimates about 1,000 cases were shipped to retailers like Target throughout the United States. Now you can return any of the recalled products for a full refund. A new health study from Harvard researchers shows that eating a plant-based diet, which focuses mainly on fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, can help prevent the development of type 2 diabetes as well as reduce weight gain and improve high blood pressure. So keep that in mind today as well. And here on the First Coast, a rabies alert has been issued in Nassau County. An otter tested positive for the virus after someone was bitten in Hilliard. So make sure that you or your pets have been vaccinated, and that rabies alert will last for 60 days. St. Johns County Ocean and Fishing Pier will be closed for maintenance for up to 4 months. Now it is expected to start in January of next year, and it'll cost St. Johns County more than $700,000. Now, we are, along with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, we're trying to continue to remind you to lock your car doors. Now, we have learned that a gun that was stolen from an unlocked vehicle was used in a homicide this weekend. On Saturday morning, police found a man shot to death in the Riverside area. The suspect has been charged with murder, tampering with a witness, and aggravated assault. So lock those car doors. First Coast News is on your side, showing you how to survive a potentially deadly situation. Sadly, this weekend, a Jacksonville mother of 2 drowned after accidentally backing into the water at Hannah Park. So the question is, what can be done to save your life if you find yourself in a similar situation? So our Robert Bradfield is on your side with some life-saving information.
You can buy this tool for less than $10 at many hardware stores. It even comes with a built-in seatbelt cutter. We'll show you how to use it in just a moment, but those we spoke with say it's an inexpensive purchase considering you can't put a price on your life.
Orange belt, #1 round kick.
As a karate instructor, Ryan Martinez teaches his students to be quick on their feet. He's been teaching life-saving skills at Karate America on Atlantic Boulevard for more than a decade. From active shooter training to learning how to survive a drowning, Martinez covers several real-life scenarios. After the death of Kathy Paradise, who drowned after her husband says she accidentally backed her car into water at Hannah Park over the weekend, Martinez says this emergency hammer is a must-have.
If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're in your vehicle, it's taking on water and you can't open the door or windows, this emergency hammer may do the trick. You may need to do it a couple times, but after the window breaks, it will allow for your escape.
Control the seatbelt, cut it upwards.
Martinez demonstrated how to also cut the seatbelt. Most tools have a blade built in, so if the seatbelt does not dislodge, you can still free yourself. Martinez reminds you it needs to be in a place where you can get to it.
I actually have one on my door, on the side of my door, so it's easy to reach.
a low-cost tool that can be used in a high-pressure situation. JSO is investigating whether any safety improvements need to be made at Hanna Park. In the meantime, Martinez says if you don't have one of these, buy one and make it a priority. Robert Bradfield, First Coast News, on your side.
Your time right now is 4:45. Macy's is facing scrutiny for its collection of plates. Brooks Baptiste has the buzz when we return.
Good morning. Coming up on Today, with just about 24 hours before Robert Mueller's highly anticipated testimony, the president, who said he won't watch, now signaling he might tune in. Mueller, who has insisted he will not say anything that is not already in his report, will spend 5 hours in front of 2 House committees, subpoenaed by Democrats who are still divided over impeachment. Now some top Democrats hope Americans will take a second look. Now the president touting last week's vote when a majority of Democrats killed an impeachment resolution. It all comes as the president has announced a bipartisan deal in Congress on the budget and debt ceiling for the next 2 years. The president describing it as a, quote, real compromise. But now Congress has to vote on it. We'll have all that and more coming up on Today. Back to you.
Let's talk traffic out there this morning. We're starting with a live look towards the Fuller Warren Bridge. We're on the southbound side. You can still see that one lane there is blocked by construction cones. But because it's so early, it's not causing any major delays or any big problems. But of course, it's just one of the things that I'll keep watching for you guys throughout the morning. Let's take a look now at your national news. The trial is set to begin today for a man accused of plotting a terror attack in California as revenge for the deadly attacks on mosques in New Zealand. Now that's topping your national headlines. Mark Stephen Domingo was arrested in April after police say he finalized plans to detonate a bomb during a white nationalist rally planned on Sunday in Long Beach. Now, Domingo has been charged with providing and attempting to provide materials to support terrorists. If convicted, he could face life in prison. The White House and congressional leaders have reached a 2-year budget deal, and that would raise spending by $320 billion. If approved by Congress, this deal would also suspend the debt limit until the mid-2021. In a tweet, the president said that this is a new deal that will give another big victory to our military and veterans. North Korea's state media says leader Kim Jong-un has inspected a newly built submarine to be deployed soon. The report comes days after North Korea said it may lift its 20-month suspension of nuclear and missile tests to protect against the expected military drills between the U.S. and South Korea. The governor of Michigan held a signing ceremony to rename a Detroit highway after singer Aretha Franklin. A portion of the M10 freeway as Aretha Franklin Memorial Highway now. Franklin died in August of 2018 after battling pancreatic cancer.
Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, powered by AC Designs.
Good morning. Yes, working on the next 12 hours. And as we wake up, we've got mid-70s, and we're talking about the pop-up storms coming in later this afternoon. In fact, if you look at the very latest data, I think our better chance rain would actually hold off until this evening, especially southeast Georgia, with increasing heavier rain as we get into this forecast. That'd be late tonight all the way through Friday. All right, we're the first to show you the nice news in the tropics this morning. Let's do it again. 5 a.m. Tropical Depression 3, latest track a little farther east while you were sleeping, remaining a poorly organized system. This likely to be absorbed into remnants into a front by late tonight. The big impacts stay offshore Florida. Okay, that's the big thing to know. So for us, this rain not associated with the depression will start to increase with a summer front. So notice we're going to increase that rain up to 60% by 7 p.m., especially if you're across southeast Georgia. Today's high, lower 90s. We take a look at this summer front, and we're talking some very heavy rain coming our way. Wednesday through Friday's the timing. In fact, some reds now popping up on the map, so there will be some isolated areas with 4 to 6 inches of rain with localized flooding. So we'll keep an eye on that. For us, we're also going to see that relief from the heat. Notice we go from 92 today, that's 60% chance of rain. That'd be mainly for tonight, right? And there could even be a strong storm across southeast Georgia. Tomorrow, scattered showers, even some strong storms for the rest of the area. Jacksonville, St. Augustine included. Wednesday, Thursday, look at the high rain chances staying at 90%. Highs only in the low to mid 80s. Friday morning, and then we will start to see that drying trend as that front washes out in time for your weekend.
All right, your time right now is 4:52. So let's see what's trending right now with Brooks Baptiste. Good morning, Brooks.
Hey, good morning to you, Miss Katie J. Macy's facing some backlash this morning after biting off more than it could chew. It released a new line of porcelain plates advocating for smaller portion sizes. Here is the buzz. So the plates, which retail for $9.50, they feature 3 circles that increase in size, and they're labeled skinny jeans, favorite jeans, and mom jeans. A picture of the plates were tweeted, and as you can imagine, it sparked some body shaming controversy online. In response, Macy's issued a statement apologizing for, quote, missing the mark on the product, you think, and then they pulled the plates from being sold.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Come on, you gotta love Mr. Rogers. The internet buzzing all about this new trailer for the upcoming A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood film. And it's about the iconic Mr. Rogers himself, starring Tom Hanks. Now, the film follows a jaded magazine writer who was assigned a profile of Fred Rogers, but is doubtful of Rogers' optimism. Over time, the two, they form a friendship, and he overcomes the skepticism about America's most beloved neighbor. The movie hits theaters November 22nd. All right, and some big news on the First Coast. Change is coming. Pampers is adding 5,000 changing tables in men's public restrooms across the county. All right, this is all thanks to a social media post made by a local father, Dante Palmer, which many of you probably remember, shows him that picture squatting on the bathroom floor to change his son Liam. Thousands of other dads, well, they then took the same picture, and that installation is going to be happening today at 4 o'clock at First Impressions Barbershop on Old St. Augustine Road. I still remember that moment. I saw that picture and I'm like, I have got to get a story with this guy. And then now he was so committed to it, and he's been doing it since October of last year, closer to September of last year. And look at him now.
Yeah, because it's not, they're doing some here, but I know you've also done the story that Pampers was doing some across the country as well.
Yeah, and the craziest thing is he lost his job because of this.
Really?
He ran into some issues even at work, but he stayed committed to it, and now you can see it's coming to life. So
that is awesome. Well, good for him, and I can't wait to see, all the wonderful change that he's making. Thank you, Brooks. So make sure you stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. So many of you showed up to Junior Seafood yesterday to talk to our Ken Amaro about any issues or concerns you may have, or things that you're upset about, maybe some grievances with the city. So this morning, Ken Amaro is addressing some of those issues and working to get some results.
Popular for shrimp and grits, Junior Seafood has loyal customers, like Denise Scott.
I'm upset because you won't even let the people decide.
Scott's concern is public education.
Let's fix it.
It proposed half-cent sales tax to fix aging schools, now stalled in City Council.
City Council said something about they want transparency. Well, City Council don't give us no transparency. Come on, that's my frustration. Come with one accord for the people of this city.
We also heard concerns about the problem of illegal dumping.
And now somebody has dumped some trash there.
One person unable to be there called in to complain about her AAA service. These are all issues we plan to tackle in the days ahead.
What are the issues as you see them?
Abraham Hassan started Junior Seafood 20 years ago. He lives and works on the north side.
Traffic is becoming an issue, and it's going to continue.
He enjoys the growth, but wants city planners to consider its impact when they're issuing permits.
We actually had a couple meetings last month or two about trying to get it Main Street widened heading north.
He told us the Florida Department of Transportation is now working on a solution. Hassan is also concerned about crime, some of it related to the growth. He told me his business was broken into twice in 1 year.
Things could be better. Of course, you have crime anywhere you go. You have your hot spots.
Even so, he's convinced the North Side is a good place to live, work, and own a business. Ken Amaro, First Coast News, on your side.
And if you didn't get a chance to talk to Ken personally, you can still contact our On Your Side team of investigators. Just email us at onyourside@firstcoastnews.com. A local brewery cooking up something new. Engine 15 is brewing up First Coast Brews to work on a new beer to donate the proceeds to pay down some of those lunch debts. So for a closer look at the lunch debt issues and our in-depth report online, go to firstcoastnews.com. All right, that's First Coast News at 4:30. Good Morning Jacksonville starts right now.